Good afternoon. This video is the video component of Assignment 1 Web Development Semester 2 2025. My student ID is 25001275 and my name is Nina Demboer. I'll start by showing the main web page, then I'll explain the code I used to build it. I'll start by explaining the web page using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then separately I'll explain the React app. This main web page is a website designed for tourists intending to visit Aotearoa, New Zealand. The layout begins with a header, a main image of Roy's Peak, and a welcome blurb introducing the country. Next, it shows places to visit in New Zealand and 5 links for more information, followed by media credits and my student ID in the footer. The interactive components are here, which I use JavaScript to show the current time in New Zealand, as well as the current temperature in Auckland. This is where I did the most learning, so I'll come back to these features. The other interactive feature is the study link, where I used HTML to add a link to another website, which is the Massey University website. The code I used to make this is the main part of assignment 1, the HTML page. The main things I learned in HTML were the semantics, and the importance of using the correct tags, especially for styling later in CSS. Links, so using the anchors to connect pages together. And in terms of styling, the biggest learning I did was the drop-down menu, which was using like a common hamburger icon using hexadecimal notation, as well as getting the HTML right so I could style the drop-down menu in CSS. I also learned about labeling and the difference between classes and ID. So ID was just labeling things once, and classes for labeling items that I might use more than once, but I will probably want all the styling to be the same. I also used a flex box to divide the contents into the boxes for the visit, work, live, and culture page. Within HTML, I used here the JavaScript and also the CSS. So that's there. And I learned that I could use one CSS page to style all the pages of the HTML code for the one assignment, as well as JavaScript to do the interactive component of the page. And by using CSS, I learned how to style the page consistently. Things like page layout, lining things up right, background colors, fonts, borders, and border styles. And I appreciated that one CSS page could be applied across all the different pages for a consistent look for the website. JavaScript was where I think I did the most learning. I followed a tutorial from a page called She Codes, which I referenced in my report. And using that, I adapted their code to use the open weather map to import live temperature data for Auckland and show it on my page. To do so, I did get a free API key, which I believe is free for up to 1,000 users. I also did something similar to import and display the current time. So yeah, the main learning was that I could import data from a different website and use it within my page. This is the React component of my assignment. It's separate from my tourism webpage, but it follows the same theme. It's a single page component with an interactive feature. This is the interactive feature. So here is a description, a title, and a heading and a description of different popular tourist destinations, and a button where when you push, you can book accommodation in these places. So on a real page, this is where the link to booking the accommodation would be. On my page, each time you click this button, the number of people who have booked goes up. So here I've clicked it twice, so it goes up to 2 and 3 and so on and so forth. I learned a lot from this assignment as I had never used React before, and so these are the following points that I learned. So index, this is the sort of main entry point into my React, and tourism.info is sort of where I built the main interactive function. I used use state, and this remembers the value of the counter even when the page updates. And I also used use effect, which automatically runs whenever something changes, like when the counter goes up. So how my function works is tourism info takes two props from app, which is .js, which is the location and the description. Each time a button is clicked, the use effect notices the change, and then the handle click function increases the visit count by 1. The handle click function, I based this code on the tutorial on the React official page, which is called Responding to Events, and I also reference this in my report. And here on app.js is where I put all the different locations and the descriptions, which were the props that were taken in.